wondered why certain moments can take your breath away? I'm Jennie Sikes, corporate recruiter turned soul alignment strategist, energy worker, and your friendly neighborhood doula for every stage of life except the delivery room. Each week, we open the toolkit, tarot, astrology, hypnosis, Reiki, and more so you can trade confusion for clarity, an autopilot for intentional alignment. Whether you're navigating a career pivot, a spiritual awakening, empty nesting, or just the sacred messiness of becoming, this space is for you. You're not just evolving, you're remembering. Let's rise together. The Ascending Dawn Doula show starts now.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Pat, and I get to take this ride with the most incredible, hello, we said it, Jennie Sikes. But today, see, there is like this energy, Jennie, right now, and you've tapped into it. So this episode is called, right, From Small Talk to Synchronicities, what a spiritual awakening really feels like. And I'll tell you where I want to start with this. I know we got a lot of ground to cover. I always love to know when somebody picks an episode topic like this, what the heck is going on with you to pick this one, Jennie?
Oh my gosh. And actually the timing, all of our podcasts are quite synchronous on the
Yeah,
timing of the things in my world and the community at large, right?
yeah,
And I was sitting preparing for a workshop, which took place this last past weekend, excuse me, on spiritual awakenings. And one of the catalysts into that was small talk. And we're in this world now where it's not even a pleasantry anymore. It's small talk is like horrible to get through. It's awful. How's the weather? Oh, how's the weather? Right? Oh, can we talk about how the leaves are, retracting their energy into the roots of the trees, into the ground and the leaves? And I mean, that's fascinating, right? But with that small talk, sometimes if you're tuned in, you can see the synchronicities and you can see the truth that's coming out. It's just an amazing journey that we're on. So I thought, well, small talk, as painful as it is, let's talk about that and how we are evolving as a collective and bringing in signs and synchronicities of our evolution.
yeah. I love this conversation because let me give you a little tidbit about small talk, a small talk tidbit, and then you tell me where you want to go. So when I bring something up, I don't see it as small talk. So I was trying to have a conversation this morning and yesterday, and I'm like, oh, my ravens didn't come today. Now, to me, that is not small talk because
That is not
raven,
small talk.
no, but really, you're worried about the ravens today, right? Um, but there is an alignment if we just pause for a minute to listen. Now, the person I'm talking to, what card do you think they pulled out of the deck?
Ooh,
Raven. So, what is a synchronicity in practical terms? Let's start there and then you're going to drill it down. Because there are awakenings if we're awake to understand that we're having an awakening. This morning, I picked cards from a medicine deck with my animal friend totems. So I shuffled the deck, shuffle, 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 right? The bottom of the deck, lizard, right? But I didn't take it. Shuffle, shuffle, waiting for Linda, shuffle, bottom of the deck. What do you think it is?
lizard
Lizard.
again.
Yeah. Then I do a poker card shuffle of the deck
Nice.
with the whole thing. Bottom card, what do you think it was?
Third time's a charm.
Still didn't take it. And then I did it one more time. And when Lizard showed up for the fourth time, would you like to explain this in the realm of spirituality and synchronicities for everybody?
That is amazing. Amazing. And first off, the lizard is resilient. And as in times of protection, they drop their tail. And they can be a chameleon and kind of fall into place and make it all happen. Lizard 3, 4 times for you. So the synchronicity, first off, you're like, okay, right?
Yeah,
Second time, okay, all right. Third time, okay, what is happening? Fourth time, okay, all
yeah,
right. This
yeah,
is a sign. What am I supposed to do with this? How does it apply to my world today? And the fact that it came in on the fourth time. So the
yeah.
four in angel number terms, for those that aren't aware of angel numbers, oh my gosh, can't wait for you to dive in. It's a simple confirmation that whatever today that you are going through where you have to be a chameleon or you have to defend and
Yeah.
protect, you are 110% supported by your spirit guide team, your angels, your loved ones, your ancestors. Those fours are powerful. And it
Okay,
basically
I
says, "Hey, I'm
sorry.
not alone. I'm not alone."
I got to go with this one then, but we are going to get your questions answered. You got in here because how are your senses, dreams, body? Do you know I have a very important call today at noon
Mm.
with my attorneys?
Oh, that's a strong one.
Well, now if I piggyback off what you just said, it's going to be really all good, isn't it?
100%. You're fully supported.
Oh my
And even
gosh.
at that, before you go into that meeting, connect in. Be like, hey, team of the highest of love and light, whoever you call on outside of
Oh man.
this physical meat suit, right? Team, give me the words, give me the
Yeah.
resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get into something really deep, which you didn't really share yet, but yeah, I know you will. Here's the deal. Why in my life, and I would suspect in yours, and I want to talk to all of you out here because really this episode is for you. There's a sense of, I think you use the term discomfort. I have to tell you, disaster is a better term for me at different points in time.
Yeah.
But can we talk about how that seems to be a norm prior to the awareness of the awareness of the awareness?
Such a great question. So, a lot of us who go through spiritual awakenings, and by the way, we don't go through just one. We always are expanding and contracting, but that contracting is the difficult part. So, a lot of us that have gone through spiritual awakenings do have to go through, say, a disaster instead of discomfort, a constant curveball after curveball. Sometimes it's grief of a loved one that's transitioned. Sometimes it's grief of transition and a job loss and a broken leg and a insert here, a catalyst, a cascade of things that you're like, why is this happening? But these things do happen to help you open your mind to the bigger awareness of what's happening in your world. And so, say you lost that job. That job probably was not meant for you to be, but what did you get back? You got a ton of time back. And yeah, that time is uncomfortable because sometimes you sit and you percolate a little bit, right? And you're like, oh, I'm so bored of General Hospital. But are you really bored of General Hospital? I don't know. I love General Hospital. It gives you the time back to clear out what emotionally is not working for you. And once you have that cleared out space, then you have space to learn and you have space to grow and you have space to expand instead of contract. And it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
No, it's not comfortable. And yet, every story that we talk about or we reference, and it doesn't matter what it is, you can talk about everything from like what we were talking about, Game of Thrones, to Discover the Witches, to Harry Potter, and especially Harry Potter, because you can see that dark side, that dark moment. And
Mm,
can you just address one thing in the realm of this? Because this is really important in the conversation today. All of us take things in our senses, in our dreams, in our body, in our intuition differently. But can you talk about how all of those things provide us with a pathway to, my word, alignment?
absolutely. Okay, so I will use a personal experience and I've applied this now and it works so well that I definitely want to share it with everyone here. So, say somebody makes you really, really angry, and you're in that moment of all these crazy things happening, and we're in a personal year nine, a collective year nine, and we're all like, we got to clean out our closets, and things are not going to work anymore, and all of these things on a macro level and a micro level. Okay. And then you have a conversation with someone who's not very pleasant. Let's say that. And then you kind of get all spiraled up, right? And you're like, not feeling it. And I kind of want to defend and protect myself. If you take a step back to pause and ask why am I feeling this way right now? Because he really said something really bad and I'm just da 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 da. Okay, good. Why does that upset you? Well, because blah 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 blah. Okay, good. Now, why is it that? And you keep asking the question, why? Do it 6 times. You get to the root issue of why that whole thing is making you so unrested, at ease, not at ease. And then you can come back to yourself going, oh, well, I kind of see the person in front of me as a mirror. Darn it.
Yeah.
Now let me look at myself. It's a little bit of a mirror work, shadow work, really. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And, and let's talk about this for a minute, because what I love about what you do is you sort of integrate different piece parts of different things. And, to your point this morning about the lizard, I mean, you know, it did take me 4 times. And what was going on in the back of my mind? Here's what was going on. Wait a minute, that's Linda's totem. So I kept shuffling,
Uh-huh.
right? Um, but again, I went through it, and then I went into my room and I'm surrounded by a dragon rug, a red dragon Chinese rug, two dragons on my window. But even more importantly, you mentioned the 9 year. And I want to talk about this because I think when we enter a year like this, the universe is trying to get our attention to pay attention to the synchronicities so that why? Well, if you're me and you're a Sagittarius, you just looked up your thingy for the rest of the year, but they're trying to get your attention to say, this is the year to just dust things off, man, get
Hmm.
rid of things. And we do it in multiple ways. So, may I ask you this question? A lot of times we get hung up on this being a spiritual, kundalini, whatever you want to call it. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes for me, it's like, you know what? I have got to go through my things and I am going to create a space in the garage. Or other times, it's another decision, which of course I'm contemplating. And that is, I think my time for now is up in the place I'm living. And I've already made that decision. Some people will think that I'm making it because I'm a crazy Sagittarian, but it's not. The signs have shown up. How do we help people navigate the shadow work so that we can see the signs to
Mm-hmm.
then move to the action?
Great question. So it's about really questioning. Okay, so let's go back to angel numbers for a minute, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I've
Wow.
mentioned this to you before in the past, and I'm really big into numerology. So angel numbers, numerology, I think they all kind of work hand in hand with each other. So you're seeing 444 on license plates. Let's go back to your four, right? Angels, protection,
I had an
divine.
office building that was
Ah,
444 Ravenna Boulevard.
beautiful. Beautiful. So you could take that and take a picture of it and stash it away, right?
Yeah.
And then you see 444 again, take a picture of it, stash it away. Third time, why am I seeing 444? Okay. Fourth time, now I need to start paying attention to what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling right before I see this number sequence. And it doesn't have to be 444. It could be a magical number that's unique to yourself. Mine's 316. First, I thought it was me being conceited because it's that number is near and dear to my heart. But no, it's actually a sign and synchronicity that helps me remember, hey, slow down. It's okay. Acts of service, but you have to take care of yourself first, mind, body, and soul. So being willing to kind of, I hate to say stepping out of the matrix, right? Because it's not always about the spiritual aspect, it's about the soul's evolvement. And do you want to remain a stagnant human being from the time that you are born to the time that you transition? Probably not. So, your body, we talked about this last time, your body grows, you learn how to eat and walk and talk and all of that fun stuff. We talked about that last time. But your soul is wanting to evolve. And this is how it does when you start to see signs and synchronicities and ask yourself, what was I thinking? What was I feeling right before this? Why do I feel like it's a year for change? Right? We're at the end of a 9 year cycle. We're starting brand new. We're starting to feel the pull right now. New things are coming in for the collective, and that's huge. And it's intimidating and it's scary, but you got to ride the wave as a soul, right? You got to kind of
Yeah.
go with the flow as a soul. Clear out the closets.
Yeah. And, part of this in the way you work with people, and I want to make sure, let me just take a quick pause here. for those people that are listening that want to work with you, right? And really get the sense of all of these things and how they unpack to help us define our purpose. And this is what you do: you reclaim your story and rise to alignment. See, this is so important now to do, especially between now and the end of the year. What is the best way for people to connect with you, find you, and schedule time with you?
Absolutely. Thank you. It's ascendingdawndoula.com. So ASCENDING. Dawn, as in the break of dawn, DAWN, doula, DOULA.com. And they can book a session with me, complimentary, 20 minutes, my time. Let's just talk. Let's find out where you're at. Also, I'm going to be scheduling an online workshop since this past workshop in person went amazing. 9 amazing human beings, all different demographics, generations, all going through their awakening. So I will be scheduling a Zoom call workshop in the coming months as well.
Okay. I don't know about you, and I'm certainly clear that the people watching this show also know about what I'm going to say. I've never been able to do things in life to get past these awakening moments by myself. And the times that I've tried, it's been really painful. So, what other things outside? We use animals for 1 minute, but there are other signs that are out there
Mm.
that we should watch. I mean, and sometimes they're a little weird. Like I got a giant blow up Santa on an RV. It's gigantic in my front yard when it
Oh
blows
my
up.
gosh. That's awesome.
But guess what I noticed about it?
What?
3 of the 4 giant wheels are lit. The fourth one, looking at me, is not. And that didn't hit me till last night. Now, I don't even know what to make of it, except I'm
Mhm.
aware of that light not being on. But what are the ways can people look at the signs in their lives? They don't have to be totems, but there are other
Mm.
signs, aren't there?
100%. So you're driving along, you're going to grocery shop, right? And this one song, you know the song so well, back and forth and up and down. You've heard it for 20 years. And it comes on, and something about this song now resonates even more deeply and more profound than it ever has before. It might be a two, three of the lyrics, it might be the beat, it might be the emotional undercurrent, the nostalgia aspect. And then you say, why is this hitting me differently today? Why is this one song, everything she does is magic? Why is that hitting me hard today? Or you go back to a YouTube, a beautiful day. Something is awakening within your soul and it's saying, hey, tap into this. There's a feeling. If you are having a feeling about something that you're seeing or you're hearing or you're knowing, take a moment and reflect upon it. And you get all these juicy nuggets from your spirit team. It's amazing. Your soul is literally saying, hey, it's time to expand.
Yeah. You know, the good news for somebody like me, and you know quite a bit about me, is while I have a bunch of planets in Sagittarius, I also have a moon and I think 3 other planets in Capricorn. So
Wow.
generally, Capricorn is the thing that got me up at 1:51 this morning.
Oof.
And Sagittarius is the thing that gave me an epiphany about a major decision I'm making. Um, Now, I've had some rough times in my life where I didn't know one end of an awakening from the other.
Mhm.
Clearly, this is a year that a lot of people want to be over and they don't know what to expect from next year. So, how can we help them integrate what they might be seeing in these past, what, 4 or 5 weeks
Yeah.
of the 9 year?
Yeah. It's wild, right? It's
Yeah,
wild.
it's really wild.
You know, community is probably one of the biggest things that I can advocate for. So let's go back to the 9 that were in this workshop, right? 4 of them were clients, others heard about it and decided to show up. They were brave and courageous individual folks that did not know anybody in that room. And we created a safe space. And all of them said the common denominator is that they feel alone. And so the biggest thing I could say is you're not alone. You're seeing signs, you're seeing synchronicities, you are feeling a certain way, and you may not even know how to communicate. Your clairs might be starting to come in, your psychic abilities might, and like, why is it that I can dream about this and it happens 3 days later? What is happening right now? And why is it that I don't have anybody I can talk to about that? The biggest thing I could say is find community. And I will say it's sometimes not Not as easier, not as easy said than done. It is easier said than done, but there are communities out
Yeah,
there. There are tons of healing communities that you just tap into and
yeah.
talk.
You know, Mark and I do a show on Thursdays, and it's last week was extraordinarily gut-wrenchingly heavy with grief, but because that's the type of the show. But the
Mm,
bottom line with that is we over and over and over again, we say, join the national group, find a group, you
yes.
know, and this is, I mean, hello, 12-step programs, what is that all about? It's about a group and it's about a community. But
Hmm.
those are not the only groups. They can join you. You're a
Hmm.
community. They can help get help from you and other people in your circle, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
Talk
I never want
about,
to be biased and be like, "Hey, come see me,"
no,
right?
I got to be biased for you.
But we have a great
I got
time
the
as a
lizard
community.
today. But you see, you're the perfect person that I look at when I think about who do I want to work with. You know why? Because you are experienced in so many areas that when somebody like me says lizard 4 times on the bottom of the deck, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people want. This is not a unidimensional event in life.
Mm-mm. Nope. And we are all learning and growing together. And that in itself is magical, right? So, what I may not know, you, Dr. Pat, can teach me, and vice versa. The ravens from the last time we spoke
Yep.
and from earlier in this conversation, I know that they're a magical thing for you. And when they don't arrive at the certain time, at the certain place, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And then a moment after you address it, they show up,
Yep.
right? That's the universe working with you. So yes, we are all in it together. And the power is in the collective. All of us have the ability to learn and grow together.
Yeah, and you know, you got I got a feel for my best friend Linda, who's my best friend, because we sit out there and we do our morning coffee in the front room, and they come
Mm.
sometimes, and Linda's like, "They're not ravens." Do I do a New Jersey accent? They're not ravens. They're crows. And I'm like, okay. So yesterday, Big Boy came. I don't know if
Mm.
he's a boy or a girl,
Hmm.
but and I said, Linda, can you see the glistening blue feathers? Can
Oh,
you
so
see that? The glistening right there, the glistening blue, and then when he goes to fly, she says, "Yeah." I said, "So do you believe that?" "Yeah, they're ravens, get over it."
beautiful.
Um, but if you don't have a Linda, how do people get help?
Mm. So reach out. Reach out to me. I've got a whole network of holistic practitioners in all kinds of different modalities. We've all been on the journey. I myself am going through my Jupiter return, and that's a lot of expansion, but with the expansion is contraction. So what we don't know, we learn together, but reach out. Connect with me. 20 minutes complimentary, super easy.
Oh, I love that. And they do that through your website?
They do. Yes,
Okay.
ascendingdawndoula.com.
All right. We have
Or
a
all the
few
socials.
Yeah,
Connect with,
we
yeah.
have a few minutes, but you're gonna have to explain the whole Jupiter thing you just said.
Oh my
Hello,
gosh.
just you got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So Jupiter return, explain that to people that are thinking,
Yes.
so Jupiter is like my planet, right? Okay,
Mhm.
but that has very important significance,
Oh
that
my
what you
gosh.
just said.
Yes. Every 12 years, we all have a Jupiter return, just like we have a Saturn return or a Pluto return. All these planets return back to where they were at when we were born, right?
Ah,
I thought that, okay, Jupiter, this is fantastic. Expansion, luck, abundance, rock on. This is some great stuff. Oh, Jenny, you have to like let some of this other stuff go first.
yep,
That's the contraction part of it. That's
yeah,
okay. That's a lesson in itself. But yeah, pretty powerful stuff. Every 12 years we go through this expansion, which is further helping our spiritual awakening and our soul, how it evolves. It's fantastic. You have to get through the mud first.
yeah, yeah. It's so funny because I love that we talk about this. You know what I love about what you're saying is once people go through it, they will see that this mud washes off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And if you ever had a mud bath, when that mud washes off, your skin is as pure as a baby's.
Mm-hmm.
what am I trying to say? Is when
You
the
got to go
what
through
when
it.
and when the mud washes away, just like with you, right? You're going to be able to sell your skin. It's going to be so beautiful. But that's the message for people today, isn't it?
Hmm. Absolutely. The best message is go through the mud. Go through the mud by yourself or get some buddies to go through the mud with you. But I promise once you go through the mud and get to the middle of the lake where it's nice and calm and clean, you'll see the beautiful ducks playing around, the birds in the sky, maybe a raven, maybe a blue heron, right? You have to get through the mud. You have to.
Well, thank you for this today. And oh my gosh, I can't even believe the memory I just got on the whole
Mm.
mud thing. Where did you get that from? Oh, yeah. See, when I was younger, thank goodness we didn't have the internet because watch Dr. Pat mud wrestle in Middlesex, New Jersey. OMG. I'm going to leave everybody with that weird thought.
That's your
But
Sagittarius energy, friend.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm really grateful that we did not have social media when I was growing up. Thank you so much. One more time, please give out your website.
Yes, thank you. It's Ascending Dawn Doula, ASCENDING, Dawn as in the break of dawn, DAWN, Doula, DOULA.com.
And for those of you out there, Mercury stops its little retrograde thing on the 29th. So
Hmm.
take this time, y'all, to just breathe.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Jenny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sierra. And to all of you out there, if I don't see you again before Thanksgiving, have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you for tuning in with me, Jennie Sikes of Ascending Dawn Doula. Please tune in every fourth Tuesday at 11 Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who's walked with you through a transition. And if you're curious about how to align with your purpose, with your path, come find me at ascendingdawndoula.com or Ascending Dawn on socials. Thanks again for listening. Keep rising, and I will see you next time.